Hello and welcome to Ben Ross's Conservatorium of Audio. I'm Ben Rosser, and today we're going to be taking a look at some simple stereo techniques. So if you've been having that bit of trouble getting that extra bit of width and dimension to your sound, we're going to show you some cool techniques today in order to help widen everything up a bit and make use of the stereo field a bit more. So we're lucky enough today to be using audio from a soon-to-be released track called Let Yourself Out in the Morning by Johnny Post. So make sure you check his stuff out at johnnypost.conservatoriumofaudio.com. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by grabbing hold of our first rhythm guitar recording. And we'll just fix that one up so it'll play nicely for us. And if we have a listen to that one, so as you can hear, it's just a pretty standard sounding acoustic guitar. So if you've only got one copy of the recording that you're working with, then you can still get a bit of a stereo feel out of it without having to use effects units or plugins or anything like that. One of the techniques you can use is called the Haas technique, which was pioneered by Helmut Haas, and basically consists of using two copies of the same track, one panned left, one panned right, and all you have to do is move one of those forward by 25 milliseconds, and you get a nice stereo sound. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. The first way we can do this is by zooming into our audio to the point where we can see our milliseconds. As we can see down here, 25 milliseconds. And it's a simple matter of grabbing hold of one of those clips and moving it forward. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly on, but 25 milliseconds is pretty much where it needs to be to get the sort of sound. So if we then pan one of those left and one of those right and hit play, as you can hear, we now get that really nice sort of stereo sound. The other way that this can be achieved in a DAW like Ableton Live 8 is we can simply move our clip back to the start, and we can open up our track delays, and we can put 25 millisecond delay on that channel. And as you'll hear, we get the same technique. So it just kind of depends which way you want to do it. So we'll just turn our delay off. If you're after a bit warmer and a bit richer sound, what I'd recommend doing is getting your artist to play 2 good takes of the sound that you're after, and then use those panned left and right, and you can get a sound something like this. I'll just chuck that second guitar in there, and just fix up the clip. And we'll have a listen to that one. So as you can hear, that tends to have a slightly richer sound to it. And you also get that subtle movement between the left and right channels due to the intricate differences in the takes. So if you're after something that's going to give you a nice full sound, either the Haas technique or this technique is pretty much what you're looking for. When it comes to panning, there's also a few different ways you can do it. Some engineers prefer not to use hard panning when creating a stereo sound, as you can get a bit of a nicer sound using a slightly different technique. What we're going to do is we're just going to narrow our panning slightly, still make it fairly wide, just not all the way. And what we can do is we can use a reverb effect. So we're just going to grab hold of one of Ableton's reverbs, and because we're putting it on a return channel, we're just going to turn that all the way to wet. And then by using our track send controls, we're just going to send a bit of that reverb from both channels. So if we have a bit of a listen to that one. As you can hear, it tends to have a bit more warmth and fullness to it. So if we bypass that reverb, as you can hear, you're still getting a nice stereo sound, which has still got a little bit more warmth than you get if you're using hard panning, simply because you've got the two channels interacting with one another a little bit. You've got a bit of the left channel in the right channel, and a bit of the right channel in the left channel. And as a result, you tend to get that little bit of a nicer sound. So if we bring the reverb back into that, as you can hear, just getting that extra bit of width right in the edges there. Just bring that up a little bit more, just so that you can hear it a bit more accentuated. Again, if we bypass the reverb and bring it back in,